Glory in the light of the radiant one.
Glory in the light of the
radiant one.
Yeah, glory in the light of the radiant one. We are all here today, and I'm so excited. Blessings of the one. And as I was saying before, we're nice and warm and dry. So there you are. So we'll go around circle, and maybe while we're waiting for one or two more people to show up, if they shall desire, to just give a little 1 minute of, you're here, you're alive, um, any aha moments. So for me, the aha moment was they gave me the task to move. And so I now have a new place of living. I can overlook Mount Tam. I've got redwoods. I'm happy, but I'm not happy that the electricity goes click and it just doesn't there. But anyway, I have two beautiful transmissions from Tanador, and one has to do with each one of us. There is no one Earth. There's 7 billion Earths, as we create from our own self, and then we homogenate together as one Earth. And so that was a really big aha for me.
No
And
kidding.
yeah, in other words, you have an entire universe to yourself, Miss Lynn Ann. And because you love me, I get to homogenate myself with you. And the same with Chris, and the same with Hadassah,
And Tamala.
Michelle, and
All right.
so we each have our own little thing. Okay, I won't go further with that. And the other aha is recognizing the two timelines, the one going off the cliff, control, get your second shot, all this stuff, and then the other one going up, and how they're weaving together. And you could see, even at the Capitol, you got the people who are like forever and ever, we'll take you down. And then you have the ones who said, let's get organized, we got to keep moving forward. So that gave me the ability to really see the differentiation. That's all I got to say. I'm really happy. And so we'll move to Rochelle since she was on early. You want to give us your little one-liners or two-liners?
Don't really have many of those, but just thankful to be here. I would say my aha moment was actually a couple of months ago when I had my goal session. A lot of things have been happening since then. I can feel the reintegration happening every day. I've been able to see so much and receiving so many transmissions and downloads and just signs and on this journey where in my dreams or just in other things I'm seeing synchronization, and I'm just excited. I mean, I couldn't imagine being where I am in my life right now. Years ago, you couldn't have told me I would be sitting here on a Zoom call with a group of individuals like mine, going on this journey in the direction that we're going. So I'm excited and thankful and just glad to be here. So just going to enjoy the journey. I'm glad to be here with everyone else. Enjoy the journey.
And sweetheart, can you share a video so we can see you?
She can't. Her monitor doesn't.
My monitor, they don't have a camera. I have a new type of system, so it's like a document.
Got it.
So, do you have a phone? You could join on your phone, and then we could see you and just mute one of them.
I'll have to see if I can download the app on my phone. Sure.
Yeah, why not?
And then just order a webcam, $35. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
So, awesome, my beloved one.
Hi everyone. I am so happy to be here with you all. Echo what Raquel and I met. The aha moment has been happening since we met. And we've went through a lot of transmutation, I guess you'd say, in getting here, this journey. And we said to ourselves in the beginning, We wonder where we'll be in a year from now. We wonder where we'll be 2 years as time went on. We wonder where, and we still say that, and like it's just always new.
Mm.
Just you know, we've put that out there in the universe. We've called, didn't know the name to say in the light of the radiant one, but we were calling to that source to bring us here, and that call has been answered. Uh, and then to just again, like what I shared with you, I think it was last week and a half ago, another beautiful experience where I went back home, and revisited my galactic home, and that experience is still with me. Very beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have storytelling day.
Oh,
You
that'd be lovely. That would be
know, come and
wonderful.
tell their experiences. You know, everybody gets like 10 minutes to just give the
And
download.
where's home?
Home is somewhere in Andromeda. It's somewhere there. So I haven't found the exact place, but certainly in terms of to give it to call it what the name, but I come from a light source that's from the radiant one, that place. So it's not a planet. At least I don't think it's a planet. It is a light source that's so great, so huge, so uh, um, it is so magnificent. There's nothing but light beings there. And
Nice.
I found that when I deboarded from the plane, I mean the plane, from the
Ship.
from that plane, because I wasn't the same being that I was when I had found what I was doing 10,500 years ago. As I stepped off the plane, I had shed that, and then I was nothing but a light being, and the beings were there greeting me. Just like bodies, look like, with a human form, but pretty much that was it, and we blended. As I they greeted me with the arm out and pulled me in, and it was this pulse. It was everybody was pulsing. It felt like this pulse was coming from everybody and from me, and it was touching, and we were reading each other. So we're speaking that way. And at the same time, Dr. Star was talking with me and asking me questions. And I remember, I was just blending. I said blending, but there was some of the words she used
Integration, yeah.
integration with the
Full integration. She chose to bring her light being into her human self.
Mm-hmm,
And so, I think when I'm looking here in this grouping here, we have, the Holy Trinity in each of you.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes the Divine One wants to be the guide rather than
mm-hmm.
come in for the full integration.
Yes,
I'm so honored to see each of you in your state of divinity.
yes. Likewise.
Yay. Thank you,
Thank
Hadassah.
you. Thank you. Thank you for you following.
You're inspiring us to have we'll have a share night where everybody can share.
Okay.
Have people share. Okay, well, let's go for Chris. He showed up. Thank you. Love you.
I haven't really had any particular aha moment. It's been a gradual, how should I say, path, an odyssey. It's like time unfolding each step that I take. And it's just a matter of taking each step, and each step unfolds to the next experience, the next task, the next unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've had some inner sense about yourself and changes that are going on, yes?
Oh yes, it's been constant changes. Of course, there's been time frames when there was quiet. I guess in one term is used as a quiet pralaya for a while, but then the next step, the next time frame approaches, and it's time to take the next step.
Well, we're certainly wonderful, and our hearts are open for you being here tonight. It's really wonderful, and I hope that what this reading can open up some deeper revenue for you to glean from, because that's what you've been seeking. So
We shall see.
thanks
Thank you.
for coming. Okay, Miss Lynn Ann.
Oh,
Oh,
the question is, from where did we come? What's the question?
question is to just share for a minute to the group, kind of a hello, here I am. You could share whatever you want,
Okay.
whatever you want.
Hello, here I am. And I'm honored to allocate some time to allow my spirit and consciousness and emotional body to embrace chapter 11. Chapter 11, the real truth. And so I work with the chapter 11 concept and promotions, but tonight I get to actually be in it and allow that to align and allow that to expand. And I am from Seagull Nebula, the heart planet, the heart planet. So everything I do and everything I feel has to have heart.
That's
That's me.
extraordinary.
That's me.
That's extraordinary.
Here's my heart crystal. I have many heart crystals. I want more.
Once more, we can provide it, no problem. Yes.
I'm
And,
grateful to be here. Thank you.
yay. And Miss Tamala, would you like to share as well?
I am Tamala, and I've been working on integration gradually. It's weird. I get some more. Integration gradually. And I noticed a TV series on Gaia, I think, about initiation. And basically is helping me to integrate my experience with you, Celestine, and just learning more about where our origins, basically. And so that's what I'm learning right now. So I'm trying to integrate that with my integration, and and to just spend more time in that area. I've been split with work, but I love this learning about myself, and I want to continue to fulfill my mission, or the reason why I'm here. And so yeah, that's why I'm here, to learn more, to connect more, and to keep moving forward with this connection, and just don't lose it, and just to grow into it.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Pamela.
Breathe that in. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's see. I'm going to pin me for a minute here.
Arlene.
It's Carlene. Yes, my Carlene. I just wanted to, let's see, I'm going to unpin me. I have to learn how to do this here. And Miss Carlene, would you like to share a little something there?
Oops.
Well, I connected with Celestine at the Expo conference this year. I was drawn to go into the Galactic Earth Council booth, and there set up a little appointment, and had a follow-up appointment, and I'm doing some work with the Golden Life Wisdom meditation. And at that whole expo conference, I was drawn to presenters like people from the Arcturian Council and those kinds of things. So I'm just getting into exploring more of my connection, and when I saw the opportunity to do this study, I ordered the book, and I'm here to learn and open up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So to all of you, I'm going to say, I love you. I'm going to put us on gallery view for a moment here because I love seeing you all. So, glory in the light of the Radiant One. Glory.
In the light of the
Glory
radiant.
in the light of the radiant.
Glory in the light and the radiant one.
Glory in the
The
light.
light of the
the
radiant
Glory.
one.
Glory in the light of the radiant one.
And so we've gathered here to take a journey, to feel the essence of what the Ultraterrestrials would like to share with us. They are the Star Nation. They are our Starkin. And this particular reading is specifically for those who are seeking to understand from this place of the Ultraterrestrials. I listened to a lot of people asking questions, and after I had the download, this is an encoded transmission. What that means is that for each of you, it's going to be different, because each of you have a different path and a purpose and a quality and a function. So when this download came, there was luminous light all around me. And they would always touch my hands. You're going to see it in the writing there. They would touch me here, and this was like taking place at 2:30, in the morning. Sometimes I would go to about 5:30 and then pass out and start the day again. So this went on for, quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But if I started to engage, they would erase everything that they'd given me for that time. And they'd say, okay, you ready to do it again? And so then I would start again. So this writing is blessed. It is honored. It has been inspected by people from NASA, scientists, quantum physics. And so what I get from each of them is that we have something here. And so I encourage any of you to, if you need, to do an investigation. Now, Lynn Ann we sent out a newsletter. Does everybody have the documentation or the chapter 11? You want to follow along?
Yeah.
We're going to read just a little bit, and then we're going to stop, and we're going to open open the floor for any of you to speak and share. Okay? So, chapter 11, Earth's Reintegration Revealed, and this is from the Galactic Earth Council book, chapter 11. And so let's see. I'm going to start over because I had somebody ask me for an approval of something. So from the Galactic Earth Council book, the Reintegration of Earthkin and Starkin, we're reading chapter 11, which is page 70. Okay, Earth's Reintegration Revealed. At an early age, I began to investigate the myths and stories told by our human ancestors, mothers, fathers, and parental guardians. In doing so, the results of my lifelong search and research of over 50 years has taught me that much of the world's history taught to us as children and adults is distorted, fabricated, or untrue. It became important for me after my near-death experience as a child that the true history of the world be revealed. I've envisioned ever since then the high beings that existed in dimensions far beyond this realm, bringing forth the true history for all to know. Here now, I offer you the clear and direct words of the High Spiritual Council. Their purpose is to awaken humanity, Earthkins as they call us, to the realization that a reintegration of Earthkin and Starkin is unfolding on our planet at this time. For those with ears to hear, let them hear the voices of our ancestors, our Starkin, and know that the time has come for the Earth to once again become a galactic planet. Here, the High Spiritual Council offers us their great wisdom and knowledge concerning the history of Earth, giving us some of the missing accounts of how humankind came to be and how we came to live the life we are all living today. The interdimensionally activated light encodex message.
15 minutes earlier because they had emergencies.
Okay, I think that was Lynn Ann.
Sorry.
Might want to mute yourself.
Yes.
The interdimensionally activated light encodex message from the interdimensional grouping and the High Spiritual Council was telepathically transmitted to me while receiving amplified currents of energy flowing downward through the 8th chakra above my head into the crown chakra, filling my whole body with amplified light. To assure my scientific mind if this is real, I would receive a short, sharp touch to my left hand where my thumb and index finger met. It was always in the same place moments before I would begin to write. The amplified current of energy would subside as the writing stopped. It took me many weeks to adjust to the level of energy that was running through my body to complete the transmitted writings in this chapter. May the blessings of the High Spiritual Council be of benefit to all sentient beings for all time. May this writing be of benefit to the all. The activated light transmission began at 3:35 a.m., 12/13/2016 in Fairfax, California. So I'd like us all to just take a breath and just take a moment to tune into what is your intent. And we're going to mute everyone. So Lynn Ann, you can mute yourself so that we won't have interruptions as I'm writing, as I'm speaking. So take a moment and tune in to your intent. An activated light transmission for humanity by the High Spiritual Council, the Prima Ultras, glory in the light of the Radiant One. Greetings from on high, our beloved Earthkin. We honor you in Okay, somehow I ended up muted, so we're going to start again. I love this. An activated light transmission from humanity by the High Spiritual Council, the Prima Ultras, glory in the light of the Radiant One. Greetings from on high, our beloved Earthkin. We honor you in every way as our relations. For each of you has been a part of a very long development, evolution, integration, and purposeful placement in the life of your planet Earth. We will start in offering you an understanding of one of the divine plans initiated by the Radiant One and our position as the High Spiritual Council in the formulating and manifesting the birthing of Earth's own galactic intelligence or beingness. We are an interdimensional grouping of cosmic intelligence assigned to assist in the overall existence of designated sectors of time and space and universal planetary systems. This would include your Earth. We are a part of and work in conjunction with the High Spiritual Council, Galactic Star Federation, luminous beings of light, and other interdimensional intelligences throughout creation. Your Earth, after billions of your Earth years of existence, is in its integration stage of development. This is a natural process that takes place on planetary and dimensional fields that can hold and maintain intelligent life. Your Earth is a planet that is able to hold intelligent life, as is other planets in your solar system. Each planet or dimensional field of existence that is created by our Radiant One to hold life is developed both internally and externally by forces, intelligence, and intelligences that are eternal. Only by the will and grace of the Radiant One can your Earth exist throughout time and space. In the In the developmental stages, the supreme forces you call nature forces are at play. We of the High Spiritual Council are aware of all your human abilities and potentials. We see interdimensionally into the far reaches of space, there to gaze upon the glory of the Radiant One's sorcial planetary creations. We of the High Spiritual Council are a part of the working of the star constellations, universes, and other cosmic galactic manifestations, and will continue to be so for as long as the Radiant One wills it to be so. Your Earth is a part of an enormous system of planetary intelligences held within a sector of time and space. Your planet Earth moves like cells in your human body throughout the embodiment of a sector. Sectors embody vast regions of space beyond your human's current knowing of measure and are proportionately interdimensional in nature. Each sector has supreme intelligence, qualities, and function given forth by the Radiant One, establishing them as the guardians of existence in their areas of time and space. The totality of the cosmos is made up of infinite sectors, universal, galactic, and planetary embodiments. Move from sector to sectors of time and space into another through 5 magnetic, electrophotonic, vibrational frequency modulations. I'm going to read that one more time. The totality of the cosmos is made up of infinite sectors. Universal, galactic, and planetary embodiments move from one sector of time and space unto another through 5 magnetic, electrophotonic, vibrational frequency modulations. When this happens, the vibrational frequencies of the embodiments, such as your Earth, begin to shift and attune themselves to the sector they are moving through. All intelligent factors, including the vortexual. Okay, we had a little message from Tara. Okay, I don't know why this is blocking me. All intelligent factors, including the vortexual, magnetic, electro energy fields of your Earth and all its created forms, are included in this shift. One more time for good luck. All intelligent factors, including the vortexual, magnetic, electro energy fields of your Earth and all its created forms, are included in this shift. So I'm going to stop right there for a moment and we can open it up. Okay, does anybody want to share or need to share after that one?
They have to unmute. I've unmuted, muted. They have to unmute to talk.
Yes, ma'am. Chris is unmuted, so do you have anything you want to share?
It's an interesting perspective because I've done a lot of reading and studying from, I guess you would say, human perspective of our evolution that goes way back as well. I don't know how many people are aware of the occults, what do you call them? The Theosophical Society, as well as the Anthroposophical Society, has a lot of material on this, and so far this is right in line with what this says. What I'm really curious about is this is a presentation, as we have read, of those outside of our Earth looking in and observing our development, our evolution. So it's interesting to try to, how should I say, meld or translate or bring together the two different perspectives and come and see so far that they've pretty much are very much in sync.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Anyone else want to share? Lynn?
I have read this chapter a couple of times, but tonight it was brand new again. And to feel the time and sectors and the magnitude of this huge space of the septicles, I got that one tonight. It was like, whoa, you can't even imagine in human. And I just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like this is the honest truth download that was given to you. And for me to question it is not even there. It's just like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the truth. Thank you for speaking and articulating the history. And thank you for, like, it's up to me to open my heart and my spirit and my mind and my, vast spiritualness to embrace what they're saying and not judge, but embrace and say, thank you. Oop, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Double click. Click happy.
Click. My little hostess. That's beautiful. It is an interesting thing to read something that's an encoded download. For me, I did a lot of trance mediumship in the early phases. I mean, the very first time I fell out on the path, walking in the woods on Mount Tam. And a being Meso started talking, and my friend who was walking with me had no idea what was going on. And so going out of your body and not even hearing the conversation and coming back in, I felt through the years, I did it for about 15 years in quiet, hiding, kind of keeping it quiet in the woods. But this was something different. It was like this whole energy field came in. My body was just resonating with pure sound and light. It was very holy for me. And so I appreciate what you're saying. I love you. So anyone else want to share? I just want to say also, Lynn, that the more we can go into that place of just openness and breathing, then it follows you. What we're doing today and connecting, it's going to be with you. Things will start adding up, and your connection to the galactics, your cousins, your beings, who you are, will be amplified, as some of you have experienced already. So, thank you. Anyone else would like to speak?
Yes, this is.
What did it say that? Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the beginning, and I kind of compared it to my upbringing and what we know as the beginning or the Genesis. And I thought, it's interesting contrast is that this is talking about where it says for each of you have been a part of a very long development, evolution, integration, and purposeful placement in the life of your planet Earth. And so that just stuck out to me, and that this contrast between, just this beginning of humanity where it just goes right into a destructive, beginning with no purpose. We don't even know what the purpose is. We just know in that particular narrative, you just place there, and then all of these random things start happening that just leads to a destruction. But I like here where it's actually talking about, it gives us the backdrop and the template for not only the purpose of our being here, but the purpose and evolution and development of the planet herself. So that's something that is not even mentioned or even focused on. It's talking about this terror and this, destruction and darkness and chaotic, beginning. And you see the destruction and this downfall, but you don't see in the beginning. Like I like hear the way they actually just presented it to us to help us understand that there is a beginning before that beginning, and before that beginning, and there is something that has happened systematically in the growth and development of not only the earth itself, but as we are here as beings on this earth, and what that's going to look like playing out in the rest of the chapter. So I just really, I never really paid attention to it until we just reread it today. I just really appreciate it the way that's laid out.
Very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And you're going to find throughout the book, it speaks about function and quality. You're going to see that as we go along here. So pay attention to that, because each of us was birthed into creation as an idea. And that part of us is indestructible. So we have a function and a quality that is always with us. That's like the thread leading through the way. So the earth, yes. And thank you, Rochelle, Raquel. I love the different names. Thank you for mentioning that, because the earth does have its function and quality, as does the sectors of time and space. So from what I understand, and we'll go further in, is that we have moved out of one sector of time and space into another. And each sector of time and space, and the sectors are bigger than our galaxy, bigger than the Sheshata, the Milky Way. And they each have an intelligence. So if the whole sector is vibrating at a certain level of intelligence, and this is where I think the Mayans got their understanding, then you have a function and a quality about that sector that every part of our being is going to take on a little bit of that intelligence, because we're made up of that, we're within that. So thank you. That's beautiful. And is there anybody else?
Just a brief statement that this is, I'm confirming what I'm learning now, as far as time and space and the whole cycle of, that was mentioned earlier, different dimensions. I think we use a different word, billionaires, and how we, what I'm learning is that I am supposed to help myself through these different me's. And it sounds like from what was just read, that this is talking about time and space as well, and the High Council helping us. That's the short version of what I got, what you just heard.
Carlene,
You muted.
yeah, there we go. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's so important that we get to voice what we're taking in, so that we can share. And thank you for sharing that, Tamara. And so, Carlene, would you like to share?
I'm not going to share very much. As I said, I'm here primarily just to take it all in. But what I realized as I heard Chris speaking, I've been involved in interfaith work for a long time. And so I think I've been picking up all of this a lot more than I realized that I have. As Chris was talking about what he had studied. And I also am subscribed to the Gaia programs, and am with the Gaia Inner Circle Facebook group. And I just love the transmissions that I keep reading almost daily on that page, which are totally in alignment with this. And that there is interdimensional help for us. And there's lots of energy being focused upon us on planet Earth right now. And I feel that. I feel the help that's coming. Thank you.
I love it. Yay. Beautiful. Okay, let's dive back in, shall we? All right. So let's see. I'm going to turn that on. And I am unmuted. And I'm going to get to my document. Okay. So the vibrational frequencies. And I just want to speak into, they speak about magnetic electron. And what they told me is magnetic energy comes first before the electric energy can be manifest. So they speak of it as magnetic electro. And sometimes my brain has to figure that out because we were taught so much the electromagnetics. Okay, so the vibrational frequencies of each sector of time and space gives the creation embodied within it the ability to evolve, develop, grow, and gain purposeful placement. Creation simultaneously experiences the breaking down and dissolving of the vibrational frequencies and patterns established in the previous sector of time and space. Creation simultaneously experiences the breaking down and dissolving of vibrational frequencies and patterns established in the previous sector of time and space. Your Earth has been moving out of one sector and into another sector of time and space in unison with its universal, galactic, and planetary embodiments to the ever-flowing rhythms of each sector. The sector that your Earth is now moving into is of a much higher frequency, vibrational frequency, than the previous sector it was within. This allows for the finalization of Earth's own galactic intelligence to complete its integrative development. Those of you currently incarnated on Earth in human form are a part of a much larger galactic intelligence within your universe, its galaxies, and planetary systems. Know that for billions of your Earth years, universal and galactic intelligences called into action by the Radiant One from all over the interdimensional cosmos has visited and been a part of your universe and planetary systems. We of the High Spiritual Council were one such unified intelligence that has been involved in the development, evolution, integration, and purposeful placement of your universe, galaxies, and planetary system since its earliest conception, and will continue to be intricately woven into your existence by the will and the love of the Radiant One. In Earth's early stages, radiant cosmic intelligences and members of the Vega, Andromeda, and Cygnus star councils came forth from their galaxies and star systems to offer their supreme wisdom in the activation of the Sheshata, your Milky Way, and the genesis of its new planetary bodies. This was the time and space of fiery greening of your planet took place. This was the time and space the fiery greening of your planet took place. The sector's magnetic electric field, frequency, and vibration of the Earth was within dedicated the building blocks upon which your solar system was built. So the sector's magnetic electric field, frequency, and vibration of the Earth was within dedicated the building blocks upon which your solar system was built. As your Sheshata moved from one sector of time and space to another, its beingness took on different forms of appearance, quality, and function, continuing down through the millennium. For billions of your calculated Earth years, Your planet has traversed the sectorial heavens, affecting the evolving and dissolving of Earth's formation multi-dimensionally within your Sheshata, your Milky Way. In time, Earth has developed its outer and inner embodiment enough to begin evolving its radiant potential. Remember well, all of creation is but an expression of the Sourcial Radiant One. The primary harmonic tone, solaric frequencies, and vibrations of the Earth held the potentiality for cosmic life to incarnate upon it and within its embodiment. The primary harmonic tone, solaric frequencies, and vibrations of Earth held the potentiality of cosmic life to incarnate upon it and within its embodiment. In this, specific forms of cosmic intelligences and groupings of galactic intelligences were called forth to join the cosmic and galactic intelligences who were already working on the evolutional phases of Earth's genesis and your entire universal planetary development. Okay, I think we're going to stop right there. And let me just mark that so I know where we are. Beautiful. So that was a big wow. Okay, anybody want to make a comment?
I actually have a question about the Radiant One. Is that another name for God? Okay. You're muted.
Uh-oh. Oh.
I want to say yes, and I want to say the word God comes from Egypt. It's Kemetic, and it's pronounced Goad, and it means mother, father. Okay, so the word Amun has come from Egypt, and we say Amen. So there's Amun, Amunet, Amunet, Amun. And so those words, but the answer is yes, the Radiant One is their name for God. Isn't that wonderful? It's like, wow, they have the holy ones, you know, they understand. But we are told there is more than one God. So all that can be is to exist. That's as far as you can. There can only be existence. Right? And the existence of the all has an embodiment and an intelligence that is of the embodiment. The embodiment is one of knowing, because nothing can be created without knowing. So the embodiment of existence is pure knowing. The intelligence works with the knowing of itself to create. And so sourcial beings, sourcial existence came into manifestation. And this was given to me direct from Meso, keeper of the Seventh Council. So the sourcial beings were created, and we know that which is below us as that which is above. So there are 7 of us today. So because we know there's more, we can understand that which is above. So whatever is expressed in this world that we see is the story of our God's, our source, our Radiant One's life. Your life is an expression of what the source is going through or has gone through. So when we look at all that's going on in the world, the fiery stuff, the political stuff, we can break it down and we could understand. That's why they put on the temple wall, know thyself. To know thyself is to know the creator. To know the creator is to be that, to awaken. And what they call us is human seed consciousness, because we are awakening to become our God self. Being in an embodied human experience, this is a biological unit. Each one of you are galactic intelligence, called from all parts of the universe and all dimensions of the universe. And you're having this experience, but yet you're growing to become God self because you're learning how to manifest your reality. They give you a small little world. There you are. Boop. There's Chris. Boop. There's Lynn Ann. You have your world. This is why the Native Americans create the medicine wheel. I'm a medicine wheel keeper. And I was taught, this is your universe. And you can look at it and see it and formulate it and make it your own, you awaken to it. And as you grow, you become God self. And so this tells you the story of the God of the Radiant One. The Radiant One woke up to its own self. And it looked around and said, well, what do I want to create? I want to create within myself my story. And because we're using the embodiment of all existence, yes, you can make a shape or form, but it has to go back to its natural shape after a while. That's why they say it's always consistent. Change is always consistent. Yeah? So thank you for that question. I hope I answered it.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Miss Lynn Ann, you're unmuted. Do you want to say
Oh, honey, I love your Q&A. And I love your reminder. Let me breathe in. That we are finding our way to our own galacticness, to our radiant being, to our radiant selves. It's like you remind us in our readings, in your answering. When I feel happy, I feel happy. I feel happy because I'm connected. I think there's nothing more in the universe, on the planet, than to feel that appreciation, that extension. And from that, then we make our decisions on how we want to contribute in our lives and move forward in our lives. It's such a great reminder that we are all a part of the Radiant One. And that was a good explanation. The Radiant One, we're doing our little parts and our parts and our parts.
And there you are, Miss Lynn Ann. It's true. It's this. I have no words. You've said it all. Thank you, my love. Oh, I saw Chris was unmuted. Chris, did you had something to say there?
Yes, another perspective in reference to the term that we use for God. One way that I've found that seems to help is to look at the source. The Radiant One is at times referred to as the ground, the Father, Mother ground of all existence. And from that, obviously, comes each of the various, how should I say, unfoldings, the various different unfoldings of the presence of the Divine Father, Ground Mother. As you know, in the Tree of Life, where you have the various, also in Christian theology, the various hierarchies, how each comes from the unfolding of the presence of the Father Mother grounds as it expresses itself. So that you've got this is the human, I guess you might say, the human way that humans have expressed what is so eloquently expressed here by the galactic people. And like you have the various hierarchies. In the Christian tradition, you've got the seraphim, cherubim, thrones, and so forth. We human beings, you might say, are supposedly slated to be the next hierarchy. We are to also reach a point of part of this as a Godhead from the human point of view. We are to take our place in the cosmos as other levels have. And we are in that process of becoming that.
I love it. I love that you shared a new word that I haven't heard, experienced, ground, mother, father, ground. It's very, substantial. Kind of brings me into this earth plane deeply. So I appreciate that because I'm very celestial, and so that very brings me in. And yes, it is. I've walked with that wisdom of knowing that we're all becoming source self. We're human seed consciousness, as they call us, and that we are becoming God self. So they have such utter respect for us. So often, when you're listening to ultra-terrestrial researchers, or people who are speaking of the spiritual matter, the humans have this kind of like lower station of being. And so for me, it was really great for the galactics to, say, no, 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 you are a galactic conduit, you're an awakened, you're a divinity. And so they honor us because anything that is made from the creator, from the source, they're going to bow to it. It doesn't matter what it's about or where it is, because it's an expression of that. It is a part of that. They have so much respect for us. And so that is phenomenal. There's a transmission that Tanador gave us on the value of everything that is valued, and really truly valuing that the source has made something, that has created something. So everything has a relativity of how it is placed. And so maybe we'll put that little transmission out in one of the newsletters. It's a really good one. So thank you, Chris. That was phenomenal. Thank you. And anyone else wish to speak?
Oh, I just wanted to, and to add to what seems like everyone is on the same plane there in their thinking about this, the radiant one and the source of all. I always say that it seems like we're just a thought in action, and everything that we are and we do is that expression in so many different ways, the multiplicity of it, so many dimensions and realms of thought and being, all here doing our part. But that expression of the radiant one expressing herself in every single being that is here, whether it be the bird, animal, the bugs, the earth, the grass, the trees, it's just having that physical experience to take in herself. And it's like to breathe in, breathe out, this exchange of everything, whether it be what we consider positive or negative. Nothing is perceived that way in the source of consciousness that we are, of the radiant one, because it's just manifestations and different levels of energy of that expression of that one. She brings it back into herself and then breathes it, exhales it out. And it's just this constant exchange of this consciousness in and out of her revealing herself to herself. And through us, we actually are that manifestation of that. And I think it's just hearing this and reading this, it so much comes to you, and it's like so much actually opens up. You have these revelations and these aha moments and saying, oh wow, it's this, it's that. And you keep getting touched and triggered. And this experiences that I have every day, just seeing certain things and showing me certain things. It's like that's me, that's us, that is eventually the radiant one. So we get to experience what they consider God here in that way.
It's beautiful. Let me unmute myself. Let's see. I am unmuted. Beautiful. Thank you, Raquel. Yes, the experience of knowing that we're okay. We're doing great. They are, and I have to say this, when we go out on the hill, we go out Skywatch, they're so excited to make that contact. And for those that have been out there and had that, and even the inner worlds, you notice when you make contact with a celestial being, there's that equality of wisdom, that equality. There's that reaching out and wanting to assist. How may I assist you? You know, you're to see the divine in you, you know. Namaste. So for me, it's been a walk, and it's so wonderful to share it with all of you. So I think we should carry on a little bit more. Let's keep on going. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So let me make sure that I'm gonna
Dr. Star, can I add one thing?
absolutely.
So this is Hadassah. So what I find when I've read through the book, Raquel and I both, we discovered so many layers of, not hidden, but layers of very, very important meaning, and the wisdom that's within the book. And there is instruction that's on so many layers of what we should do or what they want us to know. So in this fourth paragraph on page 74, when you were reading that, what I got from, I mean, there was a lot that I received from that, but it's the sequencing of events that were occurring here that actually occurred. What came to mind was occurring for me. So when the radiant one, that cosmic intelligence that comes to us when we have received that transmission from you and from the writings, uh, so what does happen for all of us, there is that fiery greening effect that happens to us in our growth and development as we are receiving this information. And then there's what it does for me, or probably I'm sure for all of us who are having that experience, your electrical fields, that magnetic field around your body, all of that, those codes are touched and turned on. So there's that electrical charge, ongoing, just a peaceful and a clearing. It heals at the same time. It brings clarity at the same time. It clears negative energy at the same time, and opens you up. It opens like I said, your conscious awareness, your spiritual awareness. And um, so that's what's going on there. And so that, to me, I mean, that's not all of it, but that is the building blocks for our reawakening, for our reawakening to find that, to begin to get to take us to the process of wanting that, and that reintegration with our star kin, to wanting to explore further, who we are, So I just saw that in there, as you were reading.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Extraordinary. So we can all say the word Simprith. Simprith, and we don't have to unmute, but just say the word Simprith. Simprith is the divine plan. There is a plan going on. It's the reintegration.
Yes.
There is no time, but yet we're living within a linear structural mind time. And in that linear structural mind time, this is now a development. So we have, as you say, the evolution, the development, the function, and the quality for placement. So there's a way of the universe is moving us through, and thank you, Hadassah, because that was real, and your understanding that we are being given through this illuminated encodex that is brought to us, because you're getting the light, you're getting the cosmic light, you're getting the photonic light, we're getting the luminous frequency of the words being spoken, channeled through. And as we do, and our own inner intent brings us to a place of a higher frequency. So all these things come together to awaken us, and then we say, okay, we're open to having the guidance, and I hear that, and I understand that that's what you were speaking of.
Yes,
Deep appreciation. Thank you.
thank you.
Yay! Now you see why I'm so excited. We're going to, I'm being guided to create an amazing chapter 11 book. We're going to take it out and make it into a singular book after we finish getting the different. This is the final edit. I think the final edit is coming up. And then they said, so the final book is going to be phenomenal because it's going to be made in like an old alchemical, book, like you're opening up the pages of something that's so antique, and it's going to have galactic energy in it, you know. All right, thank you all. Let's see, shall we continue on? Yes. And let's see, I'm wondering, just one moment, we have a Isaac Brooks, and they paid, and I don't know if it's for today.
Not on.
No?
Nope. And anybody comes on, I'll let them in.
Well, let's see. Hold on a second, darling. I know you're strict. New booking. Hold on. I want to see.
Want me to reach out to him?
We have a new booking scheduled with Isaac on the 21st. Okay, so they did the 21st. Wow. Okay, hold on a second here. We got. Yes. So we're going to have Isaac join us. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just as we're speaking, you see people are gathering. And we usually have people in France, England, all around the world. This is a very small one. I love everybody here, and this is good. All right, we're going to continue on here. So know that, let's see, I want to get it to where we were. Let's see. Okay, the Earth's early stages, we read that. Okay, now we're coming in tune. Okay, I'll read the last sentence from the last one. As your Sheshata moved from one sector of time and space to another, its beingness took on different forms of appearance, quality, and function, continuing down through the millennium. For billions of your calculated Earth years, your planet has traversed those sectorial heavens, affecting the evolving and dissolving of Earth's formation multidimensionally within your Sheshata, your Milky Way. Okay, so we read that one. I'm going to go down a little bit. Sometimes they have me read things over again. Okay. As your Sheshata, of which Earth is a part of, entered the sector of cosmic guardian, whose frequencies, vibrational qualities, and functions were one of divine radiance, it became time to begin developing Earth's radiant body, which would later be integrated with vibrational septicles, areas of time and space designated for celestial intelligent life forms to reside. This is a very important statement here, okay? Because what you have is the Earth is an intelligence within itself, born out of the all and the embodiment of that original cosmic intelligence. So I'm going to read it again. And it was purposefully prepared to hold intelligences of a different nature coming from all over and becoming a part of Earth. So as your Sheshata, of which Earth is a part of, entered the sector or cosmic guardian whose frequencies, vibrational qualities, and functions were one of the divine radiance, it became time to begin developing your Earth's radiant body, which would later be integrated with vibrational septicles, areas of time and space designated for celestial intelligent life forms to reside. Interdimensional placements of celestial intelligence would enable the development and evolution of stationary colonies on certain planetary bodies to unify your Sheshata with the whole of our radiant cosmos. We give you this information to reveal to you the existence of cosmic, celestial, and galactic intelligences that have been and will continue to be part of the workings of your Sheshata and all its planetary solar systems, including your Earth. All workings within your cosmos are under the cosmic forces of the Radiant One. We of the High Spiritual Council are part of the great cosmic forces creating all existence. Our beingness resides within all dimensional fields of awareness, offering spiritual, illuminated wisdom from all recesses of the cosmos. We emanate universal formulations, structural developments, evolutionary consciousness, integrational activations, and purposeful intelligences activated through the reflective expressions of the Radiant One. We, as the High Spiritual Council, retain alliances between cosmic, star, galactic, planetary, atomic, and subatomic natural states of beingness. Your humanity is within the atomic structural existences built up from subatomic natural forces and intelligences. Your subatomic structural particles are infinite and eternal. It is the intelligent forces within your atomic structures that we are assisting in the reintegration awakening of your planet. It is the intelligent forces within your atomic structures that we are assisting in the reintegration awakening of your planet. Your planet Earth has always been a part of the Sheshata Milky Way and will continue to be so until the Radiant One no longer gives expression to the whole of Earth's existence. So we're going to stop right there. Boom. Yeah. Anyone want to share? Take a breath.
You know, I had a question about that last paragraph you read. It's talking about the awakening of the planet, and I know that's probably not literal. It might be a crazy question, but I don't know why that in my mind it's like, are we talking about the inhabitants of the planet, or are we literally talking about Earth itself as a part of the source of consciousness? And if that is the case, at what point, have they revealed that the Earth actually herself did maybe go into a stage of a stupor, kind of? Was it ever at some point, asleep? And that's what I say. I'm sure it's not.
Very, very good statement, because you have to understand, we're experiencing the understanding of how the source awakened. So that very same question is, when the baby is in the womb, is it awake? Or is it in a state of symbiosis where it's part out and part in? And so what I do know, and I have personal experience, is that we're in this frequency, like frequencies are like planes of existence, 178 hertz, 256. I sent out the sacred tones. Each one of those tones, in fact, 528 is the tone of love, 144,000 beats per second. And so the Earth has many dimensions to it. And as Tanador says, each one of you has created your own Earth. And what's interesting is that you can stand on the ground, look as far as you can look, but you can only see as far as you can see. But yet in your internal workings, you have a whole earth with oceans, you have an earth with sky and birds and trees and this whole thing going on. And being an optician, I could tell you that the light, the photonic light that goes in your eyes crosses over and then hits the back of, as it goes through the retinas, it crosses over and hits the back of the visual cortex. But it also hits both of the cerebral, left and right. It goes down the brainstem, but you have these places where it hits, but you know, what gives you the vision? What gives you the shape and form that you're seeing me and I'm seeing you and I'm seeing my computer and I'm seeing this, you know, cup, this vessel. So we're making all of this, it's just like we have this existence. And so the earth, when you ask that question, is a really good question. I do know that the halls of Amenti exist, you know, and I've been there physically in this lifetime and other lifetimes where you stand in a particular vortexual place and all of a sudden you can use your mind or your energy to open up the field and you're in another dimension. That's the septicles, you know, where you can enter into another dimension. Up in Middletown, more than one time I've been in the perfect place where the energies go in both directions, and if you step into that movement of something going in both directions, you can teleport right out of this dimensional field into another place. Perhaps you've been driving and you go, oh my God, I had missing time. I'm already in the city where I was driving to, but I don't even remember how I got there. You know, so I believe that as this whole solar system was being conceived, that is the moment of intelligent conception. But I believe that as they came into formation, the fire greening, and here's one that's very specific for you. On the equinox, you know, all planetary systems, the main energy field comes from the west. That's the swastika. And all planets except for, I think, Neptune, and I think there's one more, Uranus, all of them move as if they're being pushed by the forces from the west. Earth does this thing where it stands straight up on the equinox. So it bows to the sun, that's summer, and then solstice, and then it holds to the higher to the cosmos, and that's the winter solstice. But you know, but so you have the equinox in which it stands straight up, and that's when they say the earth came into full embodiment, when it had the ability to stand straight up. In that moment it became known as an awakened planetary system. So that's just what I know. Anybody else have anything to say about that? You're on, Lenan.
Well, I'm elated that the earth stood up, and it stands up on the solstice of the summer, and it takes position. It takes an honored position.
Yeah. Okay.
The one little bit of a, I love everything I'm hearing, and then there's this one thing about as long as the Radiant One deems it available, and I wonder if we're not. I wonder if we became so evil and so non-acknowledging of the Radiant One that the Radiant One would say, all right, enough.
Wow,
It's like that was a little bit of a fear, and yet I keep going back to all the religions have they have a piece of it. Honor the Lord, honor God, honor the gala, honor, honor whatever. And so in essence, all the religions knew they needed to honor the Radiant One. And just hearing that made me realize that without our appreciation and without our doing the good and feeling the good that the Radiant has offered us, has continued to nurture and help us have, without that, if we're so far gone, then Radiant One's going to go, all right, lost cause, we're out of here. It's like it was a little bit of a but yet we can feel it. We can feel the honor, we can feel the appreciation, we can feel the joy, we can feel the honor, and there is no fear. There's no fear as long as we feel the joy and the honor and the work that we're here to do in the connection. So I just want to say that.
That's beautiful. So look at this. The words evil, and it popped right out there, But now take and put the words expression. And if the Radiant One is about creating its life, and the earth is a story of that, for long as it desires to express, and not so much paying attention to each individual being, you, Lynn Ann, are a function and a quality and an essence of that expression, right?
Absolutely.
So from what I understand is that the universal, the Radiant One is expressing not only from the smallest molecule, atom, but to the largest, Milky Way level. We are a tone, there's a tone to us who are modulating and imagining the earth. And so we have a function in that, creating a tone. So, I could say that as we become more social aware of that, the more you become more powerful and amplifying whatever it is that's within you to manifest. So if you believe that the sword is going to destroy the earth because, then you've added that, and then you have 7 billion people saying the same thing. Right? Everybody's into Book of Revelations, right? Here we are at the end game, and they're trying to figure out, why is this happening? Hello. If you have it in your heart, and that's what needs to manifest, that's what comes forth in the highest good for all. But there are times, as they say, the in-breath and out-breath of Brahman, where there is no more need to express whatever's going on.
And it's such a foreign, far away, unconnected part of me to feel that, to believe it. It's like we're here with the support and connection of the Radiant One, and to trust that, to trust and know that is beautiful. And that's
that's the thread leading through the way. But just like I left my, okay, so let's say my last home was Earth, and I packed it up and I moved it over here, but that Earth is gone. So even if this Earth, nothing can be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So that is the no fear.
Right. There's no fear. There is no fear. It would be fear if I couldn't feel the love and the happiness and the elatedness and the joy. There would be fear. If I could not connect with that, there would be fear.
But you're the heart girl, so you.
And that's the furthest way, but it was like kind of like a little bit of a threat to read that, as long as the radiant one deemed it so. It's like that's okay, you know.
Well, I'm glad that you feel okay.
It's okay because I know I'm in the light. I know that.
So we got two other people that want to speak. So, Chris, take it away.
If we look at our own experiences, our consciousness, our focus is outward into the physical reality, into the physical earth, what we experience, how we experience it. And in a way that's kind of limiting, because we can only see so far. We can only see the book or deal with the person in front of us. And if we look at the creation story in Genesis, where you have this Adam and Eve, which is already a limitation, a form of limitation. And what we are moving into now, at least what we're seeing or reading, is that we are moving through this limitation so that we have a better understanding, or can bring more of a, I like, Lynn Ann, with your heart forces, the heart idea, we can bring the heart into expression back to the radiant one. So through moving through our limitation and recognizing that this limitation is just that, where in fact we have this this unlimited capacity that is being tempered, so to speak, in such a way that it can become much more expressive, much more, it brings back a consciousness that could not be brought in any other way to the radiant one. So in a sense, we are expressing the radiant one we are returning that expression of the radiant one to him, her.
Yeah, because as you awaken, then you awaken to the radiant one, and then that connection starts the reverberation, and then the integration begins to where you are absolutely one with that.
Right.
And so I want to say that there was a time after my near death where I was like always reaching to go back there to have that connection. And then one day, the connection happened within me. And there is a power that opens up, and I know it comes out in spirals. It's like my whole body is just a spiral of energy, like a kiela. And it's taken me years to just integrate that, to where my breath, the spiral, the love, and it is about love. It's extreme love. It's so much love. It's like, it's like, wow, it's okay to surrender my breath. I practice surrendering my breath to that, So we are slowly becoming one. And yet there is the all that's outside of that. And I've often recognized that the all existence is the mother. It's like the great mother holding us all, holding all the sources, all the thousands and millions, And what I saw the difference between the all is that the all is forever and always for the benefit of all. But the source is one focus. The source is expressing for itself. So we have a dual nature of being made up of the all, which is for the benefit of all, and then we have our own self wanting to make, go down shopping and get the chocolate, have a little chocolate tonight. So I absolutely love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lynn Ann. And I think we have one more. Hadassah, you had a few things you wanted to say?
Yeah, I wanted to just touch on kind of what everybody, well, not everybody, what people were saying regarding the fear when we read that. But here in the paragraph you just read, so I want to show that there's some divine insight here. So I want to, direct everyone's attention to what it was a small paragraph, but it's saying your humanity is within the atomic structural existence, built up, built up from subatomic natural forces and intelligence. Then I want to skip down to, where did it say that? Eternal. I mean, yeah, so the next sentence is, I'm sorry, the same sentence. It says, so your humanity is within the atomic structural existence, built up from subatomic natural forces and intelligence. Next sentence, your subatomic structural particles are infinite and eternal. So, and then goes on to say, it is the intelligent forces within your atomic structures that we are. So right there, even reading that, there is a very divine, inspired, and intelligence that is telling us something here. It said it is the intelligent forces within your atomic structures that we are assisting in the reintegration of awakening on your planet. So I just that kind of came to mind when we were kind of talking about fear.
Yeah,
And,
because these
yeah,
little particles, these little parts of ourselves, right? And the biological unit is much different than the galactic intelligence
yeah,
embodying it.
yes.
So I'll let you finish what you were saying there.
Oh, well, that's actually, correct. And so that is kind of where I'm going with that. And the limitation is, now this is my personal thought, the limitations that a lot of us refer to as, the body that we have, or what's happening to us in our daily, experience, I think largely comes from the artificial intelligence that has been downloaded into the human body, where there are these false instruction, false
Yeah.
information. There's been false constructs that have been built in the mind and the wall to keep us, and on many levels, boxed in within a box, within a box, within a box. So we're
Box.
only functioning
Yep.
from that piece of that programming. But
Woo.
when we get into the greening, when we start with the fiery greening effect, and we, of course, and keep our focus, and get the knowledge and the knowing, not belief, but knowing, and we begin to allow that greening effect, embrace the greening effect, and then reading the information here, reading, and embodying other, what you're going to be bringing to us, the sciences behind this, that will go in and do away with on its own. It will shed all of that fictitious, valuable, as far as the system is concerned, stuff that we've gathered, and it will turn it to ashes, and it will fall naturally, fall aside from us. That way, that's another part of I think that's another intent of the
Reintegration.
radiant one, to help us with the integration process.
Yay. You got it. You got an A plus. Oh my
Yay!
God. Because when you're in the all, you
Yes,
are in the knowing, and
yes,
there is everything else is null and void.
yes,
As they say, all life is null and void under God, but you can go beyond that into the knowing, and then you are in the great wisdom. This is
yes,
the wisdom that will last for all existence. And once you are in the great knowing, then the truths are spoken through the heart.
Yes.
And so thank you. There's nothing further to say on that one. Thank you, my lady. Okay, so we're going to keep going, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this. It's one of my favorite things is to read chapter 11. When I tell people, oh, you got to get the book and you got to do chapter 11, they don't even have a clue what I'm saying, you know. But thank you all eternally. I love you. Okay, so I want to make sure where I'm reading here. Throughout your Earth's developmental stages, its fiery greening and elemental structuring and balancing, beings of high intelligence have been involved. So sometimes in the Bible it's like, you know, an earth was made by God and this and that, but it really should fill in those places where you understand that there's the prima ultras, there's the supreme forces, but the supreme forces are an intelligence. And the prima ultras are an intelligence, or different kinds. It's like the Hod, you know, and the Jasad. It's the, you know, different, the nature, the Nazak and the Hod in the tree of life, you know. Okay, so the elemental, we'll read it again. Throughout Earth's development stages, its fiery greening and elemental structuring and balancing, beings of higher intelligence have been involved. It is the same in times when continents, oceans, and seas are formulated. There is no time in the history of Earth that cosmic supreme and galactic forces have not been present and working directly with Earth's existence. All is in accordance with the expressional manifestations of the Radiant One, whose glory remains throughout eternity. In Earth's earliest existence, billions of your Earth years in the past, which is concursive with your eternal present time, cosmic supreme beings with immeasurable intelligence were chosen or called forward to assist in the development of galactic planetary habitats throughout your Sheshata Milky Way. They came simultaneously to Earth and other planetary bodies within your solar system to begin assisting in the creation of living habitats called vibratory septicles. And infrastructural stabilizing systems. Infrastructural stabilizing systems for use by the ultraterrestrial groupings known to you as your starkin. Many of the earliest septicles are still active today. Your solar system became one in countless quadrillions of universal systems that were developed during this time. Your Sheshata was and is still held as one unified sourcial expression of the Radiant One. The Prima Ultras, or first ones created by the Radiant One in conjunction with the supreme forces, galactic intelligences, the High Spiritual Council, and other cosmic intelligence, began their settlement work along your Earth's north and south 15.5 equilateral parallels at a time when Earth's continent was one singular landmass. All septicles were set up in harmony with the radiant potential of Earth's stabilized magnetic electrofield and your galaxy's planetary magnetic electric field. Vibratory septicles and infrastructural stabilizing systems were interdimensionally placed both under the seas and upon the dry land. The vibratory septicles, which advanced magnetic electric technologies, were stationed strategically along the 15.5 parallel to assist in the stabilization and the equalization of the dynamic positive-negative anomaly fluctuation in Earth's rotational magnetic electric field. For genetic forms of life to exist, evolve, and grow, they need placement in stabilized magnetic electric fields. I'm going to stop there just for a moment. when I was about 15, I was taken out of my body and shown that the electromagnetic field, the magnetic electric energy of the Earth fluctuates at the 15.5 because it's coming down, and one is going up the energies, right? So the magnetic is drawing through the top of the Earth, and the electric is coming out the bottom and up around the edges. And right at the 15.5, just above the equator, you have this anomalous energy that goes back and forth. If you look at the Earth, most of the wars today are fought along the 15.5 parallel. And they showed me the Earth as one continent, and it breaks apart. And if you look at all of most of the early civilizations in these structural temple places, they are all connected together. If you put the Earth back together, you'll see that these mythological places, these beautiful places such as the Pyramid of Giza and all these others, all connect together on the 15.5. So I just want to say that, and we'll do a very, let's see how much further we have to go. Not too much further, but let's go ahead and open the field for anybody to say just a few words. We'll have one or two people speak, and then we'll just get back into it.
I just want to say, I just had it's not a question, it could be a question later, but just a statement. So I'm thinking, because of the magnitude of the energy and vibration that is the radiant one, like, how is it possible for us to actualize any form of separation? It's like almost, incomprehensible. I mean, that is the case, because there's nowhere where the radiant one is not. So how have we stepped outside of her to observe, counter, introspective?
So that's a part of the growing. And it's just like a child. The formulation of the the evolving consciousness. A child sees only one side of if a ball is blue on one side and red on the other, it'll only see the red side until finally it awakens. It'll only see the parents until finally it sees into the room. It'll only see, and then it keeps evolving. So it's a part of our evolutionary consciousness. And so you can feel in your heart that you've accomplished a great thing within yourself, that you recognize there is no place where you are not the radiant one. Okay? So it gives you an idea of the level of your consciousness by just having that knowing. I talk to people, I do interviews and speakings where are you focused in your neighborhood? Are you focused just, in your town, your city, county, a nation? When I came to America, there was nobody really who thought really outside of America. They thought this is, and I was in England at the time. America was called the Rock. That was the Rock. But we didn't realize that they weren't really paying attention to us. America didn't care about. They just, cared about where they were. So they were very self-centered and also into different races. So that their consciousness was not as evolved as we were in Europe, because you have national. And then when they went into outer space, then you had global. And now we're working, all of us together here are moving into galactic consciousness. And so understanding you are the all, and the all is within. And I understood that about what you were saying, Rochelle, but I didn't get the physical God self within me physically appeared and came into my body after years of purification. And I could physically feel the empowerment of that. Even though I had it mentally, I did not have it physically. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it was just one of the things. So then with that, that's why our experiences are so ephemeral and seem to be so temporary. And then we come back, we seemingly don't recall these things because you're still building. And then going back to where your origins are, you then reintegrate with that, and then take all of those experiences and then you continue to build. But when you come back, you are not necessarily going to recall it because it's not meant for at that time for you to do that until the time of reintegration happens. Is that the way that works?
Brilliant. And I think that's why they gave us, the encoded transmission to take people back to their galactic origins, and how important that is, because your galacticness is expansive and connected to the all that goes beyond the sourcial one. It goes to the totality of existence, which the source then bows to that. You see. And there's a merging, there's a symbiosis between the all and the source. It's the same thing is happening. That's the experience, right? Experience between the source and the all. And as the story is unfolding within our being, as we're being placed in an embodiment to awaken, just as the source awakened. So it's just an amazing overlay. And anyone else? We have one more to speak if anyone wants to speak. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I love this. Okay. Wow, every time I know what I did. I lost my place because I just went down to the end. Okay, let me come back up again. Okay. So I'll read the last sentence. Your solar system became one in countless quadrillions of universal systems that were developed during this time. Your Sheshata was and still held as one unified sourcial expression of the Radiant One. The Prima Ultras, or first ones, created by the Radiant One in conjunction with the Supreme Forces, Galactic Intelligences, the High Spiritual Council, and other cosmic intelligence, began their settlement working along your Earth's north and south 15.5 equilateral parallels, at a time when Earth's continents was one singular landmass. All septicles were set up in harmony and with the radiant potential of Earth's stabilized magnetic electrofield and your galaxy's planetary magnetic electrofield. Vibratory septicles and infrastructural stabilization systems were interdimensionally placed both under the sea and upon the land. The vibratory septicles, with advanced magnetic electric technologies, were stationed strategically along the 15.5 parallel to assist in the stabilization and equalization of the dynamic positive-negative anomaly fluctuation in Earth's rotational magnetic electric field. For the genetic forms of life to exist, evolve, and grow, they need placement in stabilized magnetic electric fields. Once Earth's dynamic rotational field has been set, the process of genetically greening your Earth took place in support of the Prima Ultra intelligence and other planetary galactic intelligences that would take up residence upon your planet Earth. Much of Earth's rich mineral deposits, microbial chains of embodiment, and chlorophoric rich plant species were developed directly through the Supreme Forces and the Prima Ultras during the infrastructural stabilization stages of your Earth's history. Your entire solar system and neighboring interdimensional planetary star systems throughout your Sheshata were in different stages of development simultaneously. Your entire solar system and neighboring interdimensional planetary systems throughout your Sheshata were in different stages of development simultaneously. Your Sheshata is recognized as one unified galactic intelligence made up of harmonic resonance, frequencies, qualities, and functions that are specific to its nature and purpose. Your Sheshata continues to exist within the all-time, with its parallel and multidimensional vortexual nature. It is ever-changing in its universal formulations, structural developments, evolutionary consciousness, integrational activations, and purposeful intelligent activation. You and all humanity are within the ever-expression of sourcial life continuum. Multicellular organisms were then developed along with diverse biological organisms that were genetically engineered specifically for Earth. You will call some of these organisms marine life. You would call some of these organisms marine life. Others you would call animals. Most of the biological life forms on Earth were brought here from the far reaches of the cosmos. The universal formulations, structural developments, integrational and purposeful intelligences were placed strategically throughout Earth's evolutionary process. Placement of specific species were supported by the supreme forces you call nature forces and the prima ultras. The supreme forces and the prima ultras will always be a part of Earth's existence. They work directly with the Radiant One in the fulfillment of its sourcial expressions. As Earth came into a state of harmonically evolved development, a conceptual radiant impulse came forth from our Radiant One to the Prima Ultras, the High Spiritual Council, and a council of galactic intelligences. The radiant impulse brought forth the knowing that it was time for Earth to have its own signature galactic Earth form. The signature galactic life form would become the master formulation for your 12 original Earthkin, holding all the genetic encodings necessary for the human genesis process on Earth. From the conceptual radiant impulse to the formulation and creation of the signature galactic life forms and their process of finalization with the placement of galactic intelligences within the biological units of the intentional focus of the creation of the signature life forms was to individually manifest sourcial expression into your dimensional field. Let's read that one more time. Take a breath. From the conceptual radiant impulse to the formulation and creation of the signature life forms and their process of finalization with the placement of galactic intelligences within the units, the intentional forces of the creation of the supreme galactic life forms was to individually manifest sourcial expressions into your dimensional field. The process of manifesting individual sourcial expression of earthly human life forms will remain in a state of continuum within all time and space until the Radiant One no longer sends out the conceptual radiant impulse within the dimensional fields of your Earth. Prima Ultras carry the frequency of divine intent. There is never in the original development of Earth's signature galactic life form a desire to rule, control, manipulate, or dominate the galactic intelligence embodied within the biological unit of your planet. The divine intent was the creative manifestation in time and space of a radiant impulse sent directly from our sourcial creator. The radiant impulse we speak to you about includes signature galactic life forms groupings with incarnated galactic intelligence that makes up your entire solar system and encompasses the whole of your Sheshata. Okay, we're going to stop right there. And that's page 9. One more page to go. Anyone want to speak?
I would say that whole reading takes us so far up to the creation that these little things that we go through are like, get over it. It's like such a bigger picture going on here.
Can you imagine? Gotta
And
make
how wonderful that they thought we needed to have our own, what was it? Our own
signature.
signature form. How lovely.
So that's what is really important here is you hit it on the head, the nail, is that the whole of our earth makes a tone. And our tone is in harmony with the whole of the solar system and in harmony with the whole of the Sheshata. They see us as the children of the Sheshata. And that's really kind of amazing. So if you could imagine all the riotous things going on and people going crazy and, you know, it's like, okay, we're one species. And what do we want to do with that? And the intelligence that's helping us right now. Wow. You know, and for me, seeing and knowing the technologies and the way that they can give it to us, well, different levels of what we need right now. You know, for each one of us, you have a life experience here on earth, and they are so excited. They are so excited to share with us what we need for our next step. So we have Carlene. What would you like to say, my dear?
Well, I was just thinking how ridiculous it is for us to get caught up in these conspiracy theories and to give any cabal or group of people that are supposedly controlling our money any kind of power. They don't have any.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So if they don't have any, who has the power?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. And Raquel?
Yeah, I was looking at what you had just read about, it says Supreme Ultras carry the frequencies of divine intent. There has never, in the original development of Earth's signature galactic life form, a desire to rule, control, manipulate, or dominate the galactic intelligence embodied within biological units on your planet Earth. And so a direct and almost blatant and a complete antithesis is Genesis 1:26, where it says, God said, let us make mankind our image and our likeness so that they may rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky, over the livestock, and the rest of it. So who are they that are spoken of that actually speak, these words out to give these directives to whomever they say they created to actually do the direct opposite of what the divine intent is? And so you see this rebellion and insurrection actually taking place right in the beginning of the book.
Right in the beginning, that's right. And you're actually reading from manuscripts. I spent some of my childhood in the Biblical Library in London holding the manuscripts, some of the original ones, like, if you read Aramaic, it's Abuan is the Mother, Father, God. But you have to remember that the manuscripts that you're reading in the Bible of the Nicene Council at the time of, Constantinople and Alexander the Great and all of this, you have to remember that Judea, the Jews, the Judeans, not the Palestinians, but all that land there was Egypt. And when Mars blew out their atmosphere, that's why they always want to go back to Mars.
Right.
Blew out their atmosphere, they were brought to the Fertile Crescent to resettle. The Babylonians, Marduk, all of that. And when Judea, a small conglomerate, said, we want to annex ourselves from Egypt, and it's written in our ancestors' books, it's written on the walls, we want to annex ourselves. And you saw often the tribes would come into Egypt because Egypt fed their people, And so they said, okay, you want to annex? Okay, you could be Judea. We'll make you Judea. You could have your own little spot. And immediately the Babylonians came in and took them all away for 400 years. So during that time, you have the Palestinians who still had the worshiping of the illuminated ones who came and went because they had starships. Hatshepsut still had a starship. Still, the knowledge and the connection to the star nation still happened. Every um, social humanities has the star nation connection. Believe me. So anyway, when they came back, they shut down everything else and they made up a religion. In fact, they forgot to write Genesis before they wrote their other stuff. And they said, oops, okay, we got to write it. So you'll see, if you look at the actual manuscript, that one was written after the other. So Genesis came later, you see. So Christianity, again, was then manipulated after, the fall of the lands of Judea. And so you have Josephus, who worked with the Romans. Even though he was a part of the Judean peoples, he made up a religion, the Christians, to keep them from ever rising again. So we have the Greeks who actually held the original writings. If you ever really want to get into the manuscripts and really go deep with what you're saying there, you're going to find that when you go to seminary school, they give you the real, they say, okay, here's the manuscript, let's read it. And then you talk more about these outer worldly things happening, outer experiences. And yeah, but thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Anyone else? Okay, we have one more page to go. I'm so excited. Okay. And let's see, I'll put the spotlight on me. I'll put the light on me. Okay. All right. So your solar grouping is one of many united galactic intelligence that are integrated within your Sheshata. We of the High Spiritual Council have been given permission to offer this information to you as the reintegration of your Earth kin with your solar and Sheshata Milky Way has begun. Earth is reawakening to its galactic origins once again. Each human being incarnated on your Earth is a galactic intelligence embodied in a biological unit you call a physical body. Your physical human bodies are the manifestation of Earth's original signature galactic life forms. There are exceptions in certain individual galactic intelligences that reside here upon your planet Earth, having a mixture of their original galactic life form and Earth's original signature galactic life formation. This knowledge is reflected in the chronicles of your Earth from the past into the present time and space. For billions of your Earth years, galactic intelligences have incarnated into biological Earth forms, enabling them to live out their social expressive purpose, and function in new areas of time and space, such as your Earth. Incarnation into your Earth's signature galactic life form was often beneficial for some galactic species whose biological makeup was not compatible to your Earth's atmosphere, temperature, and other climatic differentials. Embodying the biological unit of Earth offered a suitable existence for their needs, a sustainable existence for their needs. Know that the earliest Earth signature incarnations took place billions of your Earth years after your planet's first conception and manifestation. During the time and space of Earth's primal stages of development, all cosmic and galactic intelligences were working in unison on behalf of the Radiant One in the formulation of your Sheshata and Milky Way. I want to read that again, it's really important. During the time and space of Earth's primal stages of development, all cosmic and galactic intelligences were working in unison on behalf of the Radiant One in the formulation of your Sheshata Milky Way. Galactic intelligences were specifically chosen to embody the newly formed earthen biological units according to their innate qualities and functions in the cosmos. 12 original biological units, humanoid in shape and form, were chosen and created using entrainment of elemental particles with specific genetic vibrational frequencies and electromagnetic polarizations. The radiant essence of each individual galactic intelligences was then placed within the biological units with the purpose of stabilizing the formulation. Each newly formed Earth being incarnated into a form with a quality and function unique to its purpose. All original 12 signature galactic life form, or original 12 as they were called, were sexually androgynous in nature. This original 12 became your prima Earthkin ancestors. The original 12 Earthkin were galactic intelligences who came from the distant star system, each carrying the seed of profound awareness and evolutionary purpose. The lifespan of each of the original Earth beings ranged in the thousands of your Earth years, enabling the development of species to take hold as Earth's greening environment was being developed. The original 12, or prima Earth beings, lived and functioned alongside all other galactic intelligences who were on Earth. Their evolutionary process and intellectual purpose was of great importance. They did not live a primitive existence among the greening environment of your planet. The primary focus during the greening of your Earth's environment was developing the multicellular organisms and strengthening the intrinsic symbiosis of the interdimensional, integrative, biological field of existence. This allowed for a unified hologramic infusionary system, a unified ecological system, as you would call it, to be developed from differential fields and quantum subparticles to full organism evolvement. All that is manifested within your dimensional field is integrated and dynamically in alignment with that which exists externally and internally to itself, the created field of eternal existence. So we're going to end there. Let's see. Okay, they say read the last. Before being given placement within the greening environment, the original 12 Earthkin lived in the vibratory septicles and functioned in the intra-stabilizing systems, as did all galactic intelligences who were present at that time. So, in truth, no one lived in the greening area of Earth during that time. And it pretty much is the same. They would come into the greening area for resources or to help build up the environment to keep it beautiful, and the tone was being set, that gorgeous energy tone. So I'm going to place us back into what is it called, gallery mode, and so we can just open the field and anyone who wants to share.
There's an interesting, if you recall at the beginning of the reading where you made a point of the magnetic electro field in reference to the galactic forces, here where it's speaking about the humanoid shape with specific genetic vibrational frequencies and electromagnetic polarizations.
Yeah, that was very specific, and I've waited for that to open up for me. That is, you caught it. Very good.
Yeah, and there's some of the research I have done actually expresses that. I'd have to do some more digging to understand the specific time frame mentioned here. But there's a time frame where the idea of the electromagnetic forces being placed within the human form was somewhere around the time in the human understanding in the time of Lemuria,
I see.
where
So
we
that's
actually
why they reversed it and made it a different.
no, it was where the physical human body, as is speaking here, the humanoid in shape and form were chosen and created at that time.
I see. You're talking about
And,
during the time of Lemuria, or
correct,
Mu, the time of Mu. Uh-huh.
in which the physical humanoid shape was created, and at that point in time, the electromagnetic polarization, i.e., that was the development of our spine, our spine, spinal system.
Brilliant.
Because if we look at our physiology today, with it is I guess you'd say the modern medical field, and people look at our system as kind of like an electric system with magnetic
Absolutely.
memory type stuff. So
Well,
that's
the electric is the outer form of thought.
right. Yes,
Okay. So
right.
yeah. So then that would make sense why it was polarized and at that time. But I do know that the Pleiadians were here to do the biological greening, and so they worked along with kind of the fairy elfin realms, from what I understand, and they were part of the biological terraforming of the earth. So maybe this was all, before they came into living in the greening area. Maybe they saw they had foresight to create us in that way, to create the humanoid form. I like that. Thank you, Chris. I copped that a long time ago, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a little research on that, but it looks like you're on it. Thank you. Carlene?
I'm thinking about the significance of the original 12. And in the Bible, the 12 brothers, wasn't that of Joseph? And the 12 disciples. And then I just recently participated in the Whole Person Summit that was dealing with 12 sectors of society that Barbara Marx Hubbard created, in looking at the new human that is coming into being right now.
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Beautiful.
exciting.
She was very excited about that.
Mhm.
I spent some time with her, and we did her memorial. I was a part of her memorial.
Oh, I saw that. Yes. And she said to Sadiq,
Yes.
are you ready for contact? When he started getting into this work, meaning with extraterrestrials.
Yes. We talked about going out on Skywatch, but she was, we were not able to
Okay,
open the day, but she was ready to come with me.
okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
She's with us right now. You spoke her name.
Yes.
Barbara, we speak your name so that you may exist. I love it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. 12 is very important. And here we are on 112. How do you like that?
At 9:12.
At
So
nine.
I'd love to hear from Tamala. How's Tamala doing?
Pamela,
Tamala.
Tamala.
no problem. Yeah, I usually change it to Tam. I didn't change it this time.
Maybe
Um,
a little symbol that's a U.
Yeah, the line. Yeah.
The Tamala.
Tamala. I call you,
Ouch.
we'll call you Mount Tam, honey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was when we read the book, it reminded me of something that was recently brought to me about the 12 archangels. And so I didn't that
Gosh.
So it's like the original 12. So I'm going to go back and read upon that to see if that's matching with this, because that's the first thing I thought of when you said the original 12. I was like, oh, are these the original beings?
Yeah, there's so many
Archangels? The
allegories.
archangels?
Yeah, everything is woven, even in the sacred manuscripts. I read the Bible, you know, the King James. I've read, there's 16 different Bibles, but, you know, like, and so you can read these ones, and each one you draw out of it some of the mystery, you know, it's all interwoven. So I totally honor, you know, the Bible and the manuscripts that were written, but, you know, and only through the knowing do we really, you know, really get the truth and our own experience. And that's why this is so good to have all of us together speaking. So thank you.
Especially when you said that they're androgynous. It's like, oh, yeah.
Been there for thousands of years.
Yes. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Thank you.
Let me, Celestine, Lynn here. I just have to say that I've read the chapter a number of times, and to this session, I actually really got the time and sector thing, because I remember I was like, what the frick is time and sector? Well, yeah. But I think I've been embracing your teachings for, you know, a year plus, and the time and sector conversation opened in my heart and my spirit and my realm. I'm like, oh, I mean, I finally got it. And on top of all the huge dimensions of organization and electronic and love that went into creating our planet. I know that we're going to get into the reversed ones down the road, and we can explain the negativity and all of that and love them too. But tonight was so amazing in my heart, and so amazing in my spirit, and so amazing to my starkin, and my work with you, and my work becoming a spiritual galactic being. It was really, really wonderful. I mean, I loved going through it. It's like for the first time, you're reading them for the first time.
Let me take a breath on that. And I have to say, Lynn Ann, I want everybody to know Lynn Ann deeply supports this working. And there's, you know, I couldn't do half of the stuff that we're doing, these beautiful newsletters. We thank you so much for helping me through the night. We're laying on our, you know, couch offices, and we're trying to, you know, mind meld and create these beautiful offerings for you, such as we have tonight. So thank you.
And you are a warrior extraordinaire.
I thought I gave up that warriorship, you know.
Oh no.
I'll say front lines. I'm on the front
there.
I know I'm on the front lines. I laid down my sword many years ago. But anyway, so I think what we'll do is we're going to go around the bend. We'll go around the circle and have everybody just share any last thoughts, any last feelings and love. And we're going to start with Our Lady Carlene. Would you please, you know, just whatever you want to share to our group as we close here. You'll have to unmute.
I'm trying. Okay, there we go.
No, I know, technology.
One of the things I'm feeling is profound gratitude for my having been steeped in the teachings of the Bible. Even though I rejected that fundamentalist approach that I was taught years later, it's now coming back to be very meaningful to me. And my baby sister is an ordained minister and a missionary who studies the Bible over and over again, and she knows the scripture references for everything. And I didn't always appreciate that about her. And now I do. And wanting to study this book, with such depth, is akin to what she's been doing all her life with the Bible, and is her right path. Yes. So that's been really warm to my heart.
That is so beautiful. And, whatever your intent is, that they used to say, my mother would say, whatever your intent is what you will receive out of it. Because the sacredness, the encoded, it is an encoded transmission. And even though there's like 5 different people that wrote this, we'll speak of the King James because that's basically what all Western people have in contact with. And even though 5 other, there's 2 women that wrote part of the Bible. They were channeling. There was information coming through higher beings, and so I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Okay, let's have Hadassah.
Okay, hi. I'm just sitting here, my eyes closed, and I heard, I was sort of meditating on what was being said and all that's been said, and it is just a profound experience for me to, no matter, from time of birth to walk to from child to any pausing, I mean, if you can imagine, right? I can tell you, I'll be 65 soon. And in all the years of life experience, having children, getting married, and all of these of life experiences, no matter what turn it took, I am here. I always say that. That is just, to me, that's just such a profound, for me to know that no matter where you are, and your intent is to find that truth and to connect with your sacred self. You will it will find you. You will find that, not it, but you just won't miss that connection, no matter, again, uh, I'm just very, very happy. I'm beyond happy, actually, to know that I haven't just arrived, but I'm here, and the galactic, all of the galactic, the council, all of the supreme intelligences still met me wherever I was, wherever I'm at. I'm just very thankful. And I'm thankful for, like, again, I wanted to thank you, Dr. Star, for uh, following following that path, staying true and committed to connecting and bringing us all and the world to, not, those who have an ear to hear, to bringing us together, to gathering us. So I just want to say thank you isn't really enough, but thank you from my heart, my sacred self, my total self. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to breathe that in. Because I get the impulse. It's not like I want to just tell the world, It's more like it comes into my heart. And then I call Linan to make sure that I'm not out of my mind. And then we talk about it a little bit and we say, okay, let's do this. But I move by spirit. The spirit moves me to do something. Spirit moves me to go and give a sky watch. And so I humbly bow to that, the guidance that has been given to me to be in presence with all of you. And thank you for letting me grow before your eyes and integrate myself. And thank you, Hadassah. I just love connecting with you. and Raquel and Tamala and Miss Lynn Ann and Carlene and
Mm,
Chris. We're ready for another walk there, Chris. So,
yeah. And
all
all
right.
the people that supported you along the way. I want to thank them. I haven't, physically met them, but I want to thank them as well to have supported you in the work as well.
It's been incredible. Thousands upon thousands. We have a really wonderful my back spirit community is thousands strong, as Lynn
Wow.
can tell you. And but it comes down to I prefer being the hermit, the number nine, to have small groupings that I work with, you know. And for many years I was the yogini in the forest, almost too breatharian. I was basically not eating very much. And I think that was the opening for me to have that contact. And
Mhm.
so, and then that pushed, you know, that hermitage of just being one or two people small. Look what we have brought tonight.
Yes, beautiful people.
Yeah, and when I'm in a crowd, I'm speaking to 500 people or 1,000 people, whatever. There's a different energy field that goes out.
Hmm.
You know, it's you're trying to reach the last person in the row, or you're focused on just getting the words of your message out. But here we can just really take it, and I just honor each one of your paths and to share with us together your research and what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's go for Chris.
First of all, thank you very much for the work that you've done and that you're bringing. For me, there's a lot more work to be done, study, understanding, trying to how to translate, so to speak, and meld what I have studied and learned, you might say purely from the human side, and now with this offering of yours from the galactics, our star kin, how they perceive it, to come up with a more clear, comprehensive picture and understanding of our evolving and where we're going.
I hear you. Thank you. Thank you. It's and I like moving slowly through the material uh, because it lays the foundation and it reflects so much of where we are. They say, you know, are have they left? No, they haven't left. They just live in the septical. Why chop wood and carry water? I mean, actually, really, when you go there and you have these anti-gravity ships, or you just manifest out of pure energy, why would you have to have a house that has to be built with a mortgage? I mean, it makes sense to me. So thank you, Chris. Yes, we are laying the foundation. We're diving deep, and we're just in the first 10 pages. So I'm really excited to continue this on. And I appreciate you showing up and sharing your research, because you come with a wealth. I feel it. A lot of you, all of you, come with a wealth of your own experience. And so they're giving us an opportunity. This is a Galactic Earth Council meeting to be in council with each other. And I enjoy that. It's one of the things for 5 years, I led the light group meeting up in Middletown, California, 5 years. And that was very secretive. We had to be secret. We couldn't like get on Zoom and talk. There was no Zoom with no internet. And people would come from all over the world, and they would bring stuff about Russia with children. You know, they say, "Oh, watch this video." You know, we put in a little DVD, and there would be somebody writing invisible chalk, writing on a board with children just looking at this invisible chalk, and they were being taught by an invisible being in Russia.
Mhm.
You know, and so, but it was because the circle was open for people to bring their wisdom. And so I appreciate that, Chris. I thank you for bringing your wisdom. I love you. Yay. All right, Miss Tamala. Tamala. I love it.
Ouch, Tamala.
Miss Tamala.
Happy to have met you and to had a session with you and to continue my journey of growing. I'm still learning from various people and adding to what my experience with you. And so I'm happy to be at meetings like this because it helps me to at least have one period in time where I can focus and think about this. And this meaning my inner being have more focused time with it.
We lost you a few words there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my internet. I was saying I was grateful for this time and for giving me time to be with it, being, and to have time to learn and to grow. That's basically why I'm here. Well, that's part of it. The other part is to experience. Learning and growing the small part, the larger part is to experience and to embody it and to express it. So I'm grateful for this time.
We're so glad to have you. And in your studies, feel free to share them as you will. And that's what makes it unique here is that it's an open forum, and each is like a little connect. The glass bead game where you have many people studying, then all of a sudden the dots connect in the big aha. So appreciate you being present and trusting, and we hope to imbue pure light, pure love with you along the way. So thank you. Yay. And Miss Rochelle, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Hmm?
And there's so much that has been said already, but I was kind of focusing on the entrainment. That word just kind of really stuck out. And just thinking about meaning, there are words to talk about rhythmic, physiological, and behavioral events that match. I'm just looking at particular words like that. Match a period of time, that environmental oscillation. And so you see this movement. Talks about the circadian rhythm and the stabilization, of those, the electromagnetic and the vibrational frequencies, and two of those together. And the first thing I thought about was the DNA strand, and that DNA is not just a code, but it is the actual coupling of those two that cause us to become those erect, upstanding, because that's the energy, the flow, that polarization that keeps us held together within this biosuit. It is the signature, I think.
It is the signature form. Yes, yes.
So looking at that, and so I looked at that, and as I was really just meditating on that, every time we talk, I always light a candle. And it wasn't until we met and I am on this new frequency. I know it's an elevated frequency. And that wick always turns into the shape of a butterfly. I don't care what I do. I went and got some new candles just to make sure. And as we've been talking this whole time, I lit the candle. And I even actually wiped everything off the wick because I had lit it before. And I said, I'm going to light it again. And just going to see what's going to happen. And it actually developed again, even though I wiped everything off.
Developed into a little, like a wing?
A little butterfly with wings. Yeah, the wing. It's like every time.
Oh, you got a little spirit. Yeah. The fire is intelligence, yeah.
Right, exactly. So
you have a little butterfly spirit with you there, transformation.
Yeah. And it's every time, and it just, I'm watching it the whole time. It hasn't, changed.
The guardians are with you.
Right. And so I'm looking at the relationship of all of those things and saying how that that type of entrainment is like prevents drifting of a free running rhythm. And so I look at stabilization and how this could be just a representation of the stabilized frequency that is me right now, and it continues to take shape and form in the shape of this flame, in this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I'm looking at that and it's saying, it's showing me that there's a stabilized rhythm and vibration and frequency within all of us, and it's always going to manifest itself in that way, in the spirit, in the light, in the truth, and in everything that is us, you know, the expression. And so all of us have our own, and we can, you know, you have that taking shape and form, and those things will appear to you as they appeared to me in my dream, you know, the hummingbird and the butterfly, creating the Merkaba around it, and the way it moved with me. And so it let me know that that is the stabilized force, you know, that is, you know, so
So that, you know, it's like when I'm walking on the path, I see a feather, it's telling me I'm on the right path. You know, it's that signature of letting me know that I'm, you know, the force is with me.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
going in the
thank
right
you
direction.
for
Beautiful.
everything. And I don't think I would, I know that I wouldn't say a thing. I know that I wouldn't be at this point, you know, in my walking journey had I not just taken, you know, the step to schedule the go session. That started it all. It was really just, and from that point, the signs and wonders have not stopped, you know, in my life. And just seeing so many, I just had a dream where I just had a bunch of binary codes going off the page. And I was like, at some point, I will be able to, you know, understand
That's
that. And
beautiful. Yes. But your presence and who you are, and it gives me such honor, and all of us such honor to open ourselves to watch the transformation, feel it, hear it in your voice. I hear it in your voice. I feel it in my heart, and the trueness of, and so it inspires within me the knowledge that the gifts that were given to share the ghost sessions is so true. Time and time again, I see, and in you, you reveal that, and so it inspires me to keep going, and in the presence of this working. I was so far out on the edge when I first started speaking. I came down from the mountain. Literally, I was sitting with the immortals. I could have just stayed there for the rest of my life, you know. If my daughter hadn't gotten pregnant and I said, okay, I'm going down to live with her, you know, this is it, you know, give up a 5-acre walnut farm up in the mountains, you know. And so it's just been and then coming into society where, you know, you got the black ops and you've got all this that shuts people down if for us to even have a light group. In those days, you know, back in the 80s, I did this for 5 years, from 85 to about 8, you know, from 86 into 91, something like that, the 5. And we had people that had extraterrestrial experiences as I was having, but they were more mainstream. In fact, the gentleman who built the geysers up there had extraterrestrials appear in the backyard every night, teaching him how to make the turbines because they're digging down into the volcano and they have to pour 80,000 tons of water to keep it from exploding. And so we had, you know, amazing, the solar cross, all of that happening. So when I came down the mountain, it was like, shh, don't talk about that stuff. Shh, you know, what's going on, you know? And they just kept, you know, pushing, you know, do the sky watch. People would sit with me. I said, well, I'm heading out to the mountain. Where are you going? Ah, you know. And I came to Marin and I brought crystals from the mountain that had been electrically changed and charged. My body being my body, if you do measurements of my body, you'll find that I don't have the electromagnetic spin like most people do. It's just zero. And so I've wanted to find out about that as well. But yeah, so it's been a walk just to be present with all of you today and to have the book. And the book has been the saving grace. So we want to thank everybody for buying the book, being present, being with us. And thank you very much, Raquel. We love you more.
Thank you all.
And so we have, I think, Lynn Ann. You want to give us your 1, 2, and 3, if you're still there. Let's see if she went off somewhere.
Was that me, honey?
Yes, but I have to
Oh,
see you.
I know. All right.
Okay.
Baby doll, I'll call you right back. It's 9:40.
Oh,
My
well,
boyfriend
give us
calls
5
me
minutes.
9:40.
Marty, Marty. Go
I
ahead.
told him I'd call him right
Yeah.
back. It's not
Call
the
him back.
first time. It's not the first time.
He knows it's
I'm
me.
with Celestine. I'll call you back.
That's right. He knows.
Honey, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I was part of this and embraced it and imbibed it. And I got to say, you rock on Q&A, and your history of what you know about. Even though I can't recite it, when you're talking about it and you're like, okay, yeah, in the Bibles and this and this and this, it just gives me so much confidence of your expertise. And that, I mean, I'm not like Chris and researching and trying to figure out what's right or what's wrong. I mean, I kind of go into my intuition and my soul and my heart, and I got so much out of tonight. Oh my gosh. I got so much. It's like whether, I mean, I got it being in it. Okay. Now I get to go and remember every now and then. Oh, yeah, remember. Oh yeah, remember. And I think that's what we do. We study, we connect, they're with us, and we move through in our lives and in our decisions and in our goals of what we want to do and what we're committed to, and how we have compassion for those that are unsettled or stressful. I think it'll just kind of take its course. But anyways, thank you so much, honey. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was wonderful.
Thank you. And tell Marty, thank you.
I will tell
All right.
Marty, thank you.
So, in the highest light of the One, in the radiant glory of the Radiant One, we give thanks and praises to the Prima Ultras and the Supreme Forces and all who move us through the world. May we know you deeper. May you reveal yourself more resplendent in every day. Thank you for this illumination, and I humbly bow to each and every one of you in your divinity. And as the world is shifting, know that it is being birthed into galactic consciousness. You are the seed. You are the living way. You are history, her story. We are the ones who are the beginning, awakening, in a group, the new. Imagine the veils as they drop, as the frequencies arise. This is not a play game. This is the truth. In the history of humanity, and it is a long history, each one of you will be written as those who have made the way, who opened the way to inner communications of celestial knowings through your own beingness. Each one of you will be written that you were there in the transformation. While all the chaos was going on, you were centered within yourself. opening the way and acknowledging the other side of the ball. You weren't just seeing the red, you were seeing the blue. You were seeing the world and the galacticness of the creation of the One, of the Radiant One. Yea, that I shall take you to the cities and let you gaze upon that what is new, what is vibrant, what is powerful. Each one of you has a story to tell in your galacticness, and your starkin are ready to hear about it. They want to know, what is it that you need? So remember to share with them what you need so that they may help you manifest in this moment. There are two timelines going on that are prominent. One will drive you over the cliff in fear and control, and the other one will take you to where we are now and beyond. And it feels that you've chosen by being here tonight which one you're going to be walking that path. Stay focused and hold to the higher light, because you are the one steering the ship Earth through the rocky shores to the other side. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, love, love. Blessed be. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording.